All right, so we're sitting here with messy hair because we just got out of the outdoor shower and got cleaned up after really a full 2 days of painting cabins. We painted ours yesterday and then
all day yesterday,
and then we did Cameron's today, which didn't take near as long.
Took maybe 4 hours to paint the whole cabin.
We did invest, with Cameron's suggestion, in this airless paint sprayer. This is from Harbor Freight. It's an Avanti Airless Sprayer. This thing worked freaking awesome. It made painting the body of our cabin go really quick. The trim is what took all the time.
They had a really good painter.
Yeah,
spraying it.
Cameron did most of the spraying because I was the one that got to figure how to hook everything up and set it up and get everything primed, and then he took over and I never got to paint anything. So Tony worked her butt off yesterday, painting
and today.
soffits and today.
Thank you.
So there was a buttload of painting. There was a lot of work done by everybody.
So tell me about this gun.
So this airless sprayer is from Harbor Freight. I think it's normally like $279, $269.
There's no such thing as a normal price at Harbor Freight. If you want something, wait a couple weeks, it'll go on sale.
Right. So I actually had a coupon for this and ended up paying about $199 for it. So just right at $200 for it. It was worth every penny of it as far as spraying the main siding on the house. The setup took a little bit. I had to read through the directions. There are a couple of different steps that you have to go through to prime it, which aren't very difficult. The most difficult part about using this airless sprayer, and I think that's going to be the case on any airless sprayer, is the cleanup. And you have to purge all the paint from the pump, all the paint from the line, and then you've got to clean up all the overspray on your gun, clean up your tips and everything. So I think that overall the cleanup was probably the longest single process.
I think if you had like a garden hose, or if you had like, you know, running water, it would have been a lot easier to clean up. But since we're off the grid right now, we don't have that, so we're cleaning it out of a bucket of water.
However, the instructions call for 2 buckets. One is for your waste to go into while you're either priming it or cleaning it, and the other one is full of fresh water. So in all, to do both cabins, so that was 2 days worth of priming, 2 days worth of cleaning. We used a total of, well, we actually used less than 5 gallons of water for both days.
So it took you a while to figure it out, to get set up. So if someone's gonna buy this, what can save them some time? Show me the tubes and how you use them so that setup would be easy for someone.
So as far as priming, and sorry, these do have some paint on it. This is the hose that goes into your bucket here. There you have your paint. We use 5-gallon buckets of paint. And then this is your primer hose. The gun sprays a really nice pattern, but we didn't have any problem trying to regulate our pressure. We pretty much nailed that right off. But the gun and the tip work great. If it gets clogged up or anything, all you have to do is turn this right here, pull the gun, it'll blow any clogs out of your tip, and then you turn it the other way and you can go right back to spraying.
And you spray it for what distance?
You're supposed to spray it about 10 to 12 inches, and you're supposed to hold it in a flat pattern.
Works great upside down, just in case you wondered. Because getting up underneath the cabin to spray the bottom board, if you hold it upside down, works a lot better. You know, something to be aware of, is, you know, I was the one that painted both of the cabins, the base of it, you know. Yeah, thank you. is this little nut right here, where it connects the nozzle to the actual gun. It comes loose after a while. It was a really easy fix. You just had to get the wrench and tighten it a little bit more, and it came with all the tools to do that.
Plug it in. We ran ours off of a generator, just a 110 plug. Ran it off the generator, a little, what are they, 2300 watt generator? 2200 watt. It ran it no problem whatsoever. He said it was a great little unit, and I read a bunch of reviews before we purchased this, and everybody compares this with the Graco unit from Home Depot, which is what, about $450, $500, somewhere in there. So for just something that we're going to use probably maybe a half a dozen times, we'll probably end up using it for painting some interior stuff in the cabins as well. We're very, very happy with the
those containers, those would look nice painted, wouldn't they? Say yes in the comments, please.
Ooh, yes, they would.
Oh.
But if you were gonna paint those containers, would you use an enameled paint by Rust-Oleum, or would you just use an oil-based exterior paint?
Great question.
If you're a painter, let us know in the comments, because these people are convinced that they can get away with just oil paint.
Because that's what the paint store said. And that way we can match the cabin.
They lied.
We'll see. Anyway, moving on.
I'll do my container in Rust-Oleum. You do yours in oil-based paint, and we'll do a 1-year checkup.
You know, you raise a kid for 26, 27 years.
26.
26 years. Think they know it all for their entire life.
It's true. I do. Know it all.
Awkward moments. Awkward moments here at our ranch. All right. Look at, even Bella turned her head.
Wonder if the gun would spray well with stain.
Huh.
If we choose to do...
In the directions, it actually says stain, oil-based paint, or water-based paint. Since we use water-based paint, everything we used to clean this was just water. If you do use an oil-based paint or an oil-based stain, you have to do all your priming, and all your cleaning has to be with paint thinner. So something to consider.
One thing that we left out that is big, right? If you're looking for just a handheld paint sprayer, you can get those for cheap on Amazon. You can get them for like 30 bucks. But where this one kind of beats those out is that you don't have to thin the paint. So we really just opened the 5-gallon bucket, put this little nozzle thing in the bucket, and sprayed it right away. So I know that with the little handheld ones, you need to use like paint thinner or water before you can spray it. You have to put it through a little cone and time it, and it's just, I don't know, it seems like a hassle.
And this, we used a thick paint too. We used Bear Ultra. And it covered really, I mean, other than where our painter didn't get underneath the edges real well. We won't name any names on who our painter was, but we had to go back and touch those up. But we learned
on our cabin, and then on his cabin, he did a great job, and there's not really many places that needed that touch up.
My cabin turned out great on the
We didn't have any touch up to go back really and do on his cabin, but that's one thing you want to make sure.
There's 2 spots that I could hit with a brush. It's fine.
And as I was saying, you just want to make sure that you're very methodical and have a good speed to get good coverage. And this is a 1-coat process with the paint that we use.
It's really, really user-friendly, right? I mean, as long as you read the instructions, which I didn't do, but I didn't set it up. So as far as the painting process, it really is point and shoot. Like, you could just pick it up, go to town, and it's really easy.
As far as assembly goes, that was super simple as well. Really, it's pretty much all put together except for the handle, and the handle is just slide together, and you screw these in to lock it down. It has another section up here that you put a bolt through, and it's got these little hand twist knobs, so really no tools there. And then you have to connect your pressure hose here And they do provide wrenches with it to connect the pressure hose here and to the gun here. That was the assembly right there. It also came with a little container. I think it's just oil, but tomorrow before we head back home, I'll plug this into some power and we'll put that solution in the pump, and that'll just make sure that the pump is being preserved and ready to use next time we need it. It was an awfully long-winded video on just shooting some paint and putting together a paint sprayer, but we would highly recommend this little unit if you have some small jobs you need to do.
I'm going to show you the paint color.
Hello. So, I just asked Sean.
Who's your father?
Who's my dad? I'm sorry, I say Tony and Sean. That's my mom and my dad. They just don't answer it to mom and dad, so I call them Tony and Sean. So, this little thing that he just grabbed, you can get it at Home Depot. It's like 12 bucks for 90 feet. And it really saves so much time with the taping off process. So
it's got a little serrated edge on there, and this is tape up here. So you can take a piece off, and then this actually is 4 feet long piece of plastic and really makes covering windows and doors like pretty simple. Super time saver.
Yeah, that's pretty handy. That's new and fancy.
So we appreciate your support. Thanks for watching our video. If you like our content, please like and subscribe. And as always, go have an adventure of your own. Bye.
Until next time. Looks good.